And this one comes from William Smith. What mistakes have you made in handling this recession, and what would you do differently?
Two things that I would do differently. One would have been to explain to the American people that it was going to take a while for us to get out of this. I think even I did not realize the magnitude, because most economists didn't realize the magnitude of the recession until fairly far into it, maybe 2 or 3 months into my presidency, where we started realizing that we had lost 4 million jobs before I was even sworn in. And so I think people may not have been prepared for how long this was going to take and why we were going to have to make some very difficult decisions and choices. The other area is in the area of housing. I think that the continuing decline in the housing market is something that hasn't bottomed out as quickly as we expected, and so that's continued to be a big drag on the economy. We've had to revamp our housing program several times to try to help people stay in their homes and try to start lifting home values up. But of all the things we've done, that's probably been the area that's been most stubborn to us trying to solve the problem.
Now, our next question comes from someone you may know. This is Speaker Boehner.
Oh, there you go.
After embarking on a record spending binge that left us deeper in debt, where are the jobs?
I actually worked with Speaker Boehner to pass a payroll tax cut in December that put an extra $1,000 in the pockets of almost every single American. That means they're spending money. That means that businesses have more customers, and that has helped improve overall growth. We have provided at least 16 tax cuts to small businesses who have needed a lot of help and have been struggling. We've been able to cooperate with Republicans on a range of these issues. There are some areas where the Republicans have been more resistant in cooperating, even though I think most objective observers think it's the right thing to do. I'll give you a specific example. It's estimated that we have about $2 trillion worth of infrastructure that needs to be rebuilt. Roads, bridges, sewer lines, water mains, our air traffic control system doesn't make sense. We don't have the kind of electric grid that's smart, meaning it doesn't waste a lot of energy in transmission. Our broadband system is slower than a lot of other countries. For us to move forward on a major infrastructure initiative where we're putting people to work right now, including construction workers who are disproportionately unemployed when the housing bubble went bust, to put them to work rebuilding America at a time when interest rates are very low, contractors are looking for work, and the need is there. That is something that could make a huge positive impact on the economy overall. And it's an example of making an investment now that ends up having huge payoffs down the road. We haven't gotten the kind of cooperation that I'd like to see on some of those ideas and initiatives, but I'm just going to keep on trying, and eventually I'm sure the Speaker will see the light.
Our next question has to do about jobs and technology. It comes from David. Tech and knowledge industries are thriving, yet jobs discussion always centers on manufacturing. Why not be realistic about jobs?
What we want to focus on is advanced manufacturing that combines new technology. So research and development to figure out how are we going to create the next Twitter, how are we going to create the next Google, how are we going to create the next big thing. But make sure that production is here. And there are going to be a series of decisions that we've got to make. Number one, are we investing in research and development in order to emphasize technology? And a lot of that has to come from government. That's how the internet got formed. That's how GPS got formed. Companies on their own can't always finance the basic research because they can't be assured that they're going to get a return on it. Number two, we've got to drastically improve how we train our workforce and our kids around math and science and technology. Number three, we've got to have a top-notch infrastructure to support advanced manufacturing. And we've got to look at sectors where we know this is going to be the future, something like clean energy, for example. For us not to be the leaders in investing in clean energy manufacturing so that wind turbines and solar panels are not only designed here in the United States, but made here in the United States makes absolutely no sense. We've got to invest in those areas for us to be successful. So you can combine high tech with manufacturing, and then you get the best of all worlds.